we're live. Pretty sure. I swear to God, if I don't do this right again. Looks fine to me.
I don't know. I don't do this stuff.
This is like my second or third time doing it,
Trying to do it.
and I frick it up every single time. The last one, I think I told you that I thought I ended it, and then I started doing a description, but then I was looking down like this, and I was still live.
Oh my god.
I had to crop that before actually posting it, but okay.
We're still new here.
Today's Thursday, so I left a week ago.
Left a week ago today?
Arnold Pro-Am, and I came back home on Monday. I went all by myself. I don't think I've ever been by myself to the Arnold, except the very, very first year I went, which was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I met my two friends there. That was the only time, and I stayed one night with them.
Yeah.
The day before we left, but
no, because it's either been us or you went with your mom.
I've gone with my mom. And then, I guess we've gone together every other year.
Yep.
We've gone together for 5 times.
5 times?
I believe so, because this was my 7th year.
Oh, oof.
4 times.
4 times.
Twice by myself, and then once with my mom. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 4 times. We've gone. Fun. This one was a little chaotic, though. Last year was chaotic.
Yeah. They've all been chaotic.
The Arnold is chaotic, and you need to go in.
You need to go into the show with an open mind. The promoters are doing the best they can. Can't say enough about the volunteers. I wasn't there, but I know.
You know the drill. You ran a show before.
The volunteers are absolutely amazing. So they work harder than anybody else. So props to them all. And even though for the athletes it's a bit of a shit show, you got to figure shows like the Arnold and OSG have 400 plus athletes showing up. We hosted nationals and it had 200 athletes, and that was
a gong show.
Yeah, that was absolutely hell. So I couldn't imagine double that.
And OSG, yes, there's more athletes, but it's the exact same layout throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
The Arnold, you need to get bracelets to even get inside.
Oh, there's so much.
There is no parking down there.
Yeah, the Arnold's, there's just so much more to it,
But then there's 3 different actual competitions going on, because the Masters didn't do the same events as us. The firefighters didn't do the same events as us. So you're running 3 separate shows in the same weekend all
in 3
together.
days. So
that is a hard no for me. I'm not doing that. No.
Well, hey, they just announced that they're opening up a 4th day, so maybe that'll change up the dynamic of how it's run next year.
Low key, that's probably the best decision I think the Arnold could have made.
Well,
it's going to be even crazier.
The shows aside, the convention itself was finally sold out for the first time since COVID. And I don't know, just watching the streams and stuff, it looked like an absolute nightmare down there.
I purposely didn't walk around this year. I went to the Zone Smelling Salts booth, obviously.
Yeah, normally you want to look around and check out the booths and all the different things and see people and whatnot.
I looked as I was walking to where I was supposed to go, but I didn't really make any pit stops other than Zone, really.
Yeah, I remember last year literally just trying to get from where we were competing to where the pros were competing. Convention center's big, but it literally took half an hour to walk from one end to the other just because of how many people there are.
Yeah.
So
if you can go...
You need an open mind when you go.
You need to be actually mentally prepared when you go to the Arnold, because when we say it's a shit show, I mean it's a shit show, and if you can mentally be prepared and okay with that, then that'll keep your composure.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to go backstage with Jackie Olszewski, because she was on
the pro stage,
the Arnold Classic stage. So she competed on Friday, Saturday. I competed Saturday, Sunday. But me relaxing is sitting in the back with a front stage, a front row seat to watch all that. That is relaxing for me. and people are like, "Oh, you should go back to the B&B, you should go back to the hotel, like put your feet up, go have a nap." Well, I'm not a napper to begin with, but if I can sit and relax, but also watch my friends lift right there, like I cheered for everybody, but I had to be like, "Good job," because I needed to conserve my energy. Like that was a great 700-pound lift, Lucy.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Can't go too crazy.
No. And I celebrated as needed, like Jackie's big PR deadlift, yelled a little bit louder on that one. And
just Jackie being there in general, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
hard not to go crazy for that.
But yeah, so that's what I did on Friday is watched her pretty much all day and then went for supper, then had our rules meeting, and then I went home and chillaxed and tried to go to bed early, but no, the Airbnb is only for like shit, shower, shave, and sleep, I guess.
That's the accommodations anytime though.
Mm-hmm.
Like even years that we've gone with people, whatever, like you don't spend much time at the hotel or at the B&B.
I was barely there.
Yeah. Like the one year we went with a huge group of us, we stayed at an Airbnb and
it was fine, it was good.
Oh, it's fantastic, but like
what,
you don't spend
like
much time
together,
there. Yeah.
And then we're like, "Okay, we're going to bed."
Yeah, you're either going to bed, you have a quick bite to eat, shower, then you're either all piling into a vehicle to go to the venue or you're walking to the venue. Like that weekend you're not spending copious amounts of time.
You don't want to overspend. And like we have stayed downtown at a hotel a few times and it can be like $1,200, but it is super handy when you can walk when the weather is nice.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why are you spending $1,200 on a hotel if you're going to Uber anyways? I'd rather spend $800, which is what I ended up spending, split in half, because I got a 2-bedroom. So met some lovely girls from Ontario that I've never met before, and we bunked together. But it was perfect. It was good.
Yeah, but either way, like whether you're competing or just visiting, like you're not spending much time in your room. Like obviously competing, you want to be as close as possible because it is nice to have that convenience of walking. Mm-hmm. But it's same with OSG. Like when it was in Florida, it was nice being in the host hotel because it was right across the way. It was walking distance, yeah. But
did not spend time in there.
No, you spend $1,400 on a hotel room and you're there just to sleep.
8 hours
so,
to sleep, yeah.
Like, obviously you want the best accommodations possible for your own comfort, but keeping in mind that outside of sleeping, you're not really spending much time there. So,
but yeah, we can go through like a quick recap. 7th in the world, crazy. Depending what score sheet you look at, but there's a few mistakes over the weekend and the lack of Wi-Fi and lack of access to edit the score sheet. But
she made the final day in open. That's all that matters.
That was my
a wee little 82 athlete.
Delusional goal was to make finals and open. People are telling me it's great to be realistic, but you need to be delusional. Still don't quite agree with that, but I was like, okay, well, let's make a delusional, still realistic goal to make finals. And I was sitting in 7th going into day 2, and then I kind of dropped back and forth between 7th and 8th, and then I think I came back in 7th into that last event, which was my favorite event, even though I hate training it. But let's start from the beginning. Okay. Deadlift. I wasn't sure what exactly I was going to hit. I had a number in mind, but we didn't push it very hard just because I did PR my deadlift quite a few times last year. And with it being the first event, even though I did blow my load on my 3rd attempt, I definitely felt that after, but
the time ran out.
Time ran out, didn't get a rep on it. It might have made a little bit of a difference, but yeah, still ended up going for that 3rd attempt. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to, but that was my fault for not really paying attention to who was pulling what. Like I said, it was a little bit chaotic, so I just wasn't paying enough attention, and then switching pants with Katie and tempted to get into Jeremy's briefs that he brought. There was a little bit of last minute planning. The axles were matte painted, and I trained on a slippery axle, so my fault for not training on a matte axle. I should have known better because I know they're matte for axle clean and press. Didn't really put 2 and 2 together.
You wouldn't think it makes that much of a difference, but it does.
No, it does make a difference for someone who's like who relies on her hitch.
Well, and an axle in general, right? Like normal deadlift kind of scrapes up your legs and thighs a little bit, but the axle, I don't know
It's
anybody that
like
doesn't rub it up
all,
their legs.
well,
So
yeah,
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 having that matte finish.
yeah. So, oopsies. But still got 575 on the board. Attempted 595. I think it was a soft lockout anyways, so don't know if I'd really get like a true proper down command, but let's say
It's
575 because that's
yeah. Again,
that's what I was
it's
counting
hard to
for, right?
say in that with all of that going on. Like there's so much going on, so much going around. You only have the one judge sitting in front of you. You don't have side judges looking, so it's hard to see. There
No,
were
I'm happy with 575.
yeah,
The most
watching the live stream, like it looked like there were some questionable lockouts, but
there
at the end of the day,
always is,
yeah,
but
if the
if
judge
you get
gives you the
the
down
down
command,
command, that's all that
yep,
matters. Yeah. So
judge's
my
discretion.
max pull ever on a 13-inch deadlift was 580 or 585, but that was pre-baby and that was on an elephant bar. So to basically pretty much match that on an axle,
That's huge.
like I'm happy with that. Like it hasn't gotten worse.
Hmm.
So so yeah, I think I placed, oh shit, it's on my phone. I have it written down. I think I was like eighth or ninth in that. I want to give a shout out to Amanda Wozni. 645.
Yeah, that was huge.
Like I don't even know what else to say other than that. 645. And here I am like feeling good, feeling back, like feeling stronger than I've ever been pre or post baby. This is the strongest I've ever felt. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get all my Canadian deadlift records back. Maybe not.
Wah, wah,
Think that
wah.
window's closed. But I don't know. We'll have to do a deadlift head to head from the floor and see what woman comes out
Yeah,
on
see
top.
how it goes.
But I'm really excited to have someone push that. But with Jackie too, she's like pulling what she pulled 566. So
566, yeah.
that's kind of like my projected one rep max. So I think we're gonna see some girls, Canadian girls, pull in the sixes pretty soon, like from the floor. I think that's going to be super, super impressive pretty soon here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool to have that competition for that. So yeah, I knew I'd get good points on the deadlift. Wanted to keep it like top eight because top eight goes to the finals, and I think I said I got like ninth in that. Um, so that was cool. I was feeling very confident going into the dumbbell log medley. My ultimate goal was to finish it, but looking at those dumbbells, like I know I didn't really have much to train. We have similar ones, but it's either like 80 pounds or 130. So I cleaned the 130 a few times, got a feel for it. So I think that really helped going into the comp that I wasn't so surprised that it was going to sit much lower. And it was like a freaking Coke can for the handle. So that definitely played with my little dinky wrists. I have very dinky wrists and very dinky ankles. And I'm actually surprised I don't hurt, like I roll them. I roll my ankles all the time and my wrists. I don't know, whatever. Um, but yeah, I definitely felt that. I know I rushed my first rep on the dumbbell, but I was just feeling really good that I just jumped right into it. Again, silly me. But when I recouped and went for that second rep, did like my little like bent press that I usually do, and I had my arm locked out, and as I was bringing my feet together, my little wrist just went bloop, and just I think if I held it for literally half a
Half a
second
second
longer,
longer.
I would have got that down command.
Those dumbbells are they're so much more awkward to press than your standard, like a monster bell, plate loadable, whatever. But those Thomas Inch style dumbbells, they're so compact. Like the weight, it's evenly distributed throughout, but that general size of it and how compact the weight is, like it has a different feel overall. And yeah, like it definitely puts a lot of emphasis on that wrist strength to stabilize
Big
it.
time, yeah. And
So
I
you don't really
know
notice it.
I didn't do any windmills like I usually would have done
Yeah,
in warm up and stuff,
it's a hard
but
one because if you don't have the bell itself to physically feel what it's like up in the air and just kind of hold it for a bit,
yeah.
like they're awkward.
But I did find it very comfy in the rack position, and it was kind of like a granite feel, so it was very grippy. It wasn't slippery, so I did feel very strong in my rack position. But yeah, just trying to, imagine pressing something with an open hand. I definitely felt that, but I'm excited to start working on that more. And my goal this year is to press the 130 dumbbell that we have at the Strength
At
Edge.
the gym, yeah.
I think that'd be pretty sweet. But yeah, I think I placed 11th in that one. Not bad. 11 out of 29 for an overhead.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for me.
Especially for you, yeah.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, I was happy with that. The second dumbbell would have been cool, but it wouldn't have made that big of points. I was really fast. Not really fast, but I was fast on my first two implements. So I got quite a few extra points just with the split time on that.
Yeah.
And then frame.
That frame was crazy.
I'm hit or miss with frame. I find the one that we have at the gym, I tap out at like 450, 460, and then I start dropping it. But then if I train at the one at United, I can sprint with 500. So, and it seems to be like roughly the same size handles. It's just whatever they're coated in and like whatever
Yeah.
my skin.
Which is kind of funny because most people are the opposite. The ones we have at the TSC are very.
I've heard opposite.
Yeah, like
people love the one at TSC.
It just has the handles are nice, like they're well used, so it's got a little bit of a grippy feel to it. So.
No, not like I don't know. Like it just must be like.
I've held 350 a hand for like 3 feet, so.
Like I think the best I've ever done on those, like, because there are frame and our farmers, and I know I've done 250 on those.
Yeah.
But like 25 feet, so a 500 for 25 feet.
Yep.
But comp, we need to do 500, 505 frame for 80 feet.
Yeah, boom.
So yeah, usually like I wouldn't be able to do something like that. But like made sure I got my elbows needled because like that takes my doing massage for work takes a toll on my grip and stuff. So I just made sure to get all of that reset before the comp. And I think that made a big difference. And then, yeah, just how they felt, the handles felt on the frame that we used, it just worked out in my benefit. So I knew I could go very fast one way. I needed to take that extra second to make sure my hands were set where I wanted them to be before going back, because that's when I always drop them and I either don't finish or I just lose a lot of time because I need to pick them up.
Well, that's when most people drop because they turn around so fast, grip it, and run. Yeah. They're not thinking about actually setting and going.
And I think that's what happened to me at OSG.
Yeah.
Is like I dropped it right before the line, and then I just didn't take. I think I chalked up still, but I still.
Yeah, you get that panic, right?
It was panic for sure. Yeah.
You get that panic set in where you're not thinking straight, so you just kind of grab it to finish it. So well, and in that moment too, like anybody that competes knows, like you have 60 seconds, take your time, blah 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 blah. It's you drill that into yourself, but in the heat of the moment, like you don't know how fast you're going, you don't know what the timer is, with everything going on around you. So when you drop it, that panic mode sets in because it's like, even though you feel like you're going fast, you don't know.
No, I felt
like, was
really
that 10
good.
seconds or was it 30 seconds?
I felt like really good on the way there that I still made sure I set my grip, but I just did it a little bit faster than I did in training. I felt very confident on my run there. And I'm glad I did because I ended up placing third in frame, which I actually thought it was going to be close to. It was going to be an iffy one for me. I wasn't sure how I was going to do in it. But I think first place was 13 and something seconds. And then second place was 14 point something. And then I got third by 0.07 seconds.
Yeah, so that's
like it
timer.
Was fast. And people say that it was light. And yeah, it might have been maybe on the lighter side for open, but it's also fun to watch people sprint too, though.
Was it light though? Wasn't the frame at OSG 500 too?
For 82.
Yeah, but still.
550 for open.
Yeah.
That's like 50-pound jump is a big jump.
No, I know, but like, it's hilarious how everybody complains about the weights being too light, but
I don't mind them being too light just because I like to race.
Yeah, I think
it sucks when it comes down to the judge's thumb.
Yeah, but unpopular opinion on my part, like everybody thinks strongman's like all these big shows are too light and they need to be heavier and blah blah blah. But strongman isn't just about strength; it's about athleticism as well, right?
That's what I mean. Like that's why I like racing because. Are you going to trip over your shoelace? Are you going to trip over your own foot? Are you going to hit your foot on the frame because you're moving so fast? And I've done all those things.
No, exactly. So I mean, something as simple as the sandbag medley at the end of the pro show, the classic show.
Fun to watch.
Like the open men, it was a 300, 350, 375.
That's heavy going up the hill.
And well,
I think
going into it, everybody was saying like, "Oh, for the Arnold, that's so light. Like the bags need to be 400 plus and blah blah blah."
Up a goddamn
hill. There was
what,
like 4 guys that finished it.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
So,
but I
Like
would love
strongman doesn't
to.
have to be obnoxiously heavy. Like there still needs to be that athleticism to it.
I would love to see that event pop up in Alberta somewhere. Just saying.
Sandbag up a hill.
Up a hill. I think, or even frame up a hill. I think something up a hill would actually be fun. And Calgary is known for not being flat. So I think we could find a spot. But yeah, so super, super happy with my frame. I wasn't following the score sheet, just, you know, preoccupied with something else. But I happened to walk past Jackie Rhodes and my eyes wandered onto her phone, and then I started looking at the score sheet off of her phone. I was sitting in fourth place overall after frame,
Nice.
going into arm over arm. And I was like, that's not right. I am not in fourth place in open.
Well, we do know the score sheet was all messed up.
It was all messed up. And I did correct it myself, and I was, in fact, in fourth place. I didn't believe her, so I just tried to, like, keep it cool and mellow, but also, like, don't fuck up this last event, because if you are in fourth,
Yeah.
don't fuck it up.
Well, that's another hard one too, right? So like, so many athletes focus so hard on the score sheet, and it can work in your advantage or it can work against you, right? Because you see what you need to do. So like,
but then if you don't do it, then you
yeah,
get in your head even more.
No, exactly. It's hard. It's hard to stay out of your head when you look at the score sheet that much. Like it's good because then you know what you need to do, you know what you need to stay above, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, then it's that whole dwelling on needing to.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it could be a disadvantage, but I don't know. I just for some reason I wasn't really looking at it. But
well, that
I was
too,
also
though,
trying to like get my hamstrings to calm down because they were in.
I don't know if it was anything like last year, but I know last year they actually had a TV screen in the back with all the scores and stuff on it, which was fantastic.
We didn't have our scores, but we had our event order.
Yeah, the event order, but they had the scores and stuff on it, which was fantastic.
Yeah, they
did
have the scores
trying to,
year, but not this year.
Yeah, trying to keep up with it, and because of the chaos that's going around, you would have a group of people standing there trying to figure out where their score was and where they're going and this and that as they're being called out.
Yeah.
So, again, super chaotic. Don't rely on the scores, just do it.
And then I thought arm over arm was going to be my best event, and I trained super heavy this prep for it. Like, I did not go easy because I wanted to make sure I was prepared. Because I remember the one year, Melissa Peacock specifically had this. That was the year she won 82s. Everybody struggled finishing it. And I know other years it's also been super, super late and people finish it fast, but I'm just like, well what if they meet in the middle? What if they did one year, like 2020, I think it was, what if it was too heavy that year? The next year they had arm over arm back, it was too light. So what if they meet in the middle and they just make like a good heavy pull? That's what I was kind of basing it off of. But
like they've switched back and forth with it too, because they've done it on the mats and had it way too heavy, and then they did it just on the concrete, which is that brushed finish. So 1,000 pounds on a brushed finish doesn't feel like 1,000 pounds. And we were told
right in the rules document that it was going to be pulled on rubber, so that was just like, okay, I'm training on rubber.
Yeah.
And that's freaking heavy. I think I worked up to like 750, and I was dragging something on the back of my sled for extra friction. I know everybody gave me the same, but like I wanted to do good in this. But then watching all the lighter athletes go, same thing, like sub 10, sub 20, sub 30, and I'm just like, shit.
The arm over arm
work in my favor. I'm still good at it, but I'm like, it's gonna come down to a race.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
It's not so much about the strength and pulling; it's about how fast you can get back to regrip, right?
I just didn't use my legs enough. Like watching my video, I thought I was leaned all the way back and like squatting as deep as I could, and looking at it like I was.
But you look at the people. You look at the people that did really well in that event. They weren't leaning all the way back and pulling it. They were short, quick bursts, just keeping that.
I was doing.
Yeah, which you were, but just people were faster.
Just faster, yeah.
Like, again, that's at that point it's not about the strength. Yeah.
And looking back at it now, I'm glad it was heavy I'm glad it wasn't heavy, because if it was heavy for all the weight classes and they had to take distances, I don't think we would have been able to do that event, which would have worked better points wise for me, which I wouldn't have expected. I still would have raised hell because I would have said, that's a good event for me. I don't want to cut, right?
Well, and I think a lot of people too didn't really, they were expecting it to be really heavy. They're expecting people not to finish, blah, blah, blah. But going back to last year, when events were getting cut so that we could stay on schedule and stuff. So you gotta
maybe they
you gotta side with the promoters on this one and
purposely made it light just to get an event under our belt.
To get an event under your belt, shake up the points a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you gotta figure there's so many shows that have random events thrown in that are, one of those events that work really well for some people and not for others.
Something like sandbag toss, like that's a nice little break halfway through a comp
bag
on
toss,
your
a
body.
front hold,
but some people are really, really good at that event and they steal points. But it is like a nice little like halftime show for all of us.
Like it's still exhausting, but it still breaks it down. So.
But yeah, I got first place got what was it? 12 seconds in the arm over arm. I got 19 seconds. So 7-second difference. I placed 19th, I think. So 19th or 21st.
So your frame is what saved you in points.
Yeah.
To go into the finals.
Frame is the one that saved me.
Yep.
But I just can't believe a 7-second difference between first and 19th. 7 seconds. I could not believe that. And so I thought going into that event in fourth, I was safe, but then finding out I got 19th, I'm like, I don't know if I made finals. I think I just made the cut, but I don't know. And then the score wasn't inputting correctly because it said that I placed 10th, but I got 5 points. It didn't make any sense.
No.
And with me sitting with 5 points, I think I was sitting in 10th overall. I was like, hey, well, that's not right, but I am also not going to redo everybody's scores. There's 29 of us. It's already like 8 o'clock at night. I still have to take an ice bath. I still have to wash my hair. I still need to eat supper. So I was just like, I'm just going to let them do it. I'm going to pretend that I'm in the finals. So yeah, went and did hot, cold contrast therapy. I ordered some pad thai with some edamames. And
yeah, because usually right after the show is done, they have the scores there, and then they
finals.
Well, yeah, they take all the finalists and do a finals meeting, a rules meeting for the next day. But
no, we were getting kicked out of the venue, and we still didn't know what was going on. So it was very suspenseful for sure. But yeah, I remember sitting at the Airbnb. I was literally sitting like this, eating my pad thai, and I kept updating the score sheet. And it's like 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, I really need to go to bed. And it was time change.
Yeah.
So I lost a whole hour of sleep. Did not know what was going on. But yeah, finally once the score sheet updated, I was like, Kate, good enough for me. This looks like a final draft. I'm showering and going to bed. Like, it was super suspenseful. And that pad thai was so good. Like, it actually made me really happy that I had a delicious meal while I was dealing with all of that. And Jocelyn had said they had pizza that night, and she worked out all the scores on the pizza box. She wrote it all out. She's like, yeah, that would be something we would do.
I'm pretty sure most people were doing that.
Yeah.
Everybody was probably trying to redo the scores and figure out who was doing what.
I did not have the brain capacity, and I was so tired, and I didn't want to do all that work just to most likely have an error of me trying to pound that out really quickly. Yeah. And then if I had made an error, I was like, hey, I'm in the finals, or made an error and no, I'm not in the finals. I don't think that would have been good for my mental health, so I just let them take care of it. And then if they had taken care of it and I didn't make the finals, then I would have recalculated, be like, whoa, no,
right.
No, there is no way I went from 4th to 9th or worse than that. But yeah, super, super, super stoked that I made the finals, and that kind of like reassured me that like I can and am a big dog, and that I will continue to be doing open shows this year. This was kind of like the test if I'm worthy enough. So yeah, I'm looking at OSG Open. Obviously, I'm going to do North America's Open.
You don't have a choice.
I don't have a choice. Yeah, as long as I get invited, then I don't have a choice. But yeah, so going into day 2, sitting in 7th place, we did an object load medley, which we had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, they didn't tell anybody what the implements were.
We knew it was fire hydrant, keg, sandbag.
Yeah.
And we knew we had 5 implements. We just didn't know how many of each implement.
Or the weights.
So I can guesstimate what the weights are going to be.
Yeah. It's the finals.
And I'm not very good at sandbag, so I made sure I trained a little bit more sandbag than I did keg. Keg I can But we showed up Sunday. We were told there was no kegs, and we were told it was 3 implements. I was like, okay, like that's not a bad thing. It's okay. So it ended up being fire hydrant. Don't know how much it weighed. Uh, I think a 200 Husafell bag. I could be wrong, but I didn't ask. But I had to ask about the last sandbag because if it's a 250 bag or more, I have to pick it up horizontally. If it's under 225 or 225, I have to pick it up vertically. So I asked, and the judge was like 275, and I was like, oh, that's nice. I have never even attempted to pick a 275 bag because I've never had to.
Yeah.
I've only ever had a 250 bag in a show, and so 250 is my max. I've never had to do anything heavier, so I was just like, okay, this is fine. And I've never touched a fire hydrant either. And I meant to touch it and pick it up in warm up, and then once I got my belt and everything on and went over there, and I was like, oh, it's gone.
She gone
on the stage. Okay, that's fine. It's okay. Just like watch everybody else go, and that's exactly what I did. I watched everybody, and I was like, okay, I think that technique's gonna work for me. Let's go with that one. So that's exactly what I did. Fumbled a little bit at the top, but like 48 inches is getting pretty high for my height. So glad I was able to stand it up. The Husafell bag was super light, so threw that on there, and then I ripped that 275 bag off the floor, got on my lap, and I was able to like stand straight up with it, but there was no way I could do any
There was
extension,
no extension after that.
which is fine. Like 275, like that was a PR. I didn't come last, so like super happy. I was happy with it,
Yeah.
and like mentally going into day two, I was like, if I fall from 7th to 8th, that's fine.
You
like,
still made the finals.
These aren't my best events out of the whole weekend. It's okay. I made the finals. It's fine. Like, not worried about it. Like anything that is not 8th is a huge bonus. But didn't come last in that one. So I was like, hey, cool. Like we're sitting pretty. Like now I just don't have to zero overhead because I always zero overhead. And even though I didn't zero overhead on day one,
yeah,
in Bailey fashion, I usually always zero overhead on day two. That felt really good. All my warm-ups felt really, really good on axle clean and press. I worked up to 195, and it was, she went up fast. It felt good. And I was like, okay, sick. Like, gonna call it there. We're gonna hit 205 out there. And then I was sitting there, and I was like, well, I just did like a regular axle with regular plates. I was like, maybe I should at least clean the tires because I don't have the big inflatable tires. I just have the wagon wheels at the gym.
Tomato.
Well, I'll go clean it at least. Like, I've been sitting and resting for a bit, so of course go out there again, it's gone. It's like, okay, and then yeah, that was an event. I waited 90 minutes from like my last warm up to competition. I waited 90 minutes.
That's way too long.
That part sucked, and I was a little bit worried. Didn't faze me at all. I went out there and I pressed it just like I warmed up 10 minutes ago on 195.
It's a little different though when you're in a position of whatever happens. Right?
Yeah, I didn't have like as much pressure on me, I
Yeah.
think, and I think that always helps a little bit. But
yeah, you didn't put any pressure on
but
yourself.
my-
Like you wanted to make the finals, you did. So
Yeah.
anything after that is just a bonus.
And I knew, like, I've been getting better telling myself that you can do this and you're strong enough. And it did help that I did press this weight in training.
Mhm.
Usually I don't. It's just been feeling really good. And finally, like, my back and my triceps feel like they're getting strong and they're catching up with
It's starting to
my
click a little
lower
more.
half.
Huh.
That I was confident I was going to get it. Just stay calm, cool, collected, start with 1 rep and go from there.
No.
My goal was 1 to 3 reps, but let's start with 1 rep. Let's get a point on the board. Don't zero overhead again. Do not stop zeroing
one
overhead.
rep at a time.
1 rep at a time. So yeah, that first one flew and I was like, yay, I'm going to go for a second rep. But still stayed cool. Got my second rep and I was like, yay! Went for my 3rd rep and it was a little bit movie.
A little wonky.
But like still had time for a 4th rep. But the way I dropped it, it bounced all the way to the front of the stage. And I had known before I went out for my axle that Jocelyn was standing right there. So I'm like, I'm going to go say hi to Jocelyn.
Yeah.
She got a kick out of that. And then, yeah,
So,
I played a little bit too much and ran out of time.
yeah, that's at that point though. Like
I think I would have had time for 4 if like it felt good enough. I could have went for 4, but
you still gotta have fun with it though, right?
I was ecstatic with
yeah.
3.
That's
Jocelyn's a huge hitter on overhead.
yeah.
I know I'm not beating her, so
No, but I mean, strongman in general, like it's great to be intense and go out there and give it your all. You know, like we all want to go out and win. We all want to do this. We all want to do that. Blah blah blah. But like those little moments like that are what.
I giggle every time I
Well,
look
yeah,
at
but
it.
like promoters remember
Making
that. The
Jocelyn
crowd
giggle.
remember that. Like all the other, your competition
Well,
remembers
even
that.
you said you and Rob were watching, and
Yeah,
or you guys weren't together, but Rob was still watching, and he said he thought that was hilarious.
yeah. Oh, it is.
So,
It's great, right?
yeah.
So that's that little bit of sportsmanship, but yeah, like it's still a show, so you gotta have fun with it. You know, like
You
be
can
memorable, be
you can be
engaging.
competitive and enjoy what you're doing at the
Yeah,
same time. Hmm.
you gotta remember, like it's still a show. Like we're still just normal people, still goofs. Like
I still have friends
yeah,
outside of what I'm lifting at that very time. I
no,
still
exactly.
have respect
Still
to
just want to
people.
have fun with
So,
it. So
but
why
yeah,
not?
I thought that was kind of silly. I took my opportunity to just be a little goofball, and I, I know how Jocelyn is too. Like I've gotten to know Jocelyn very well, and I know she can get in her own head sometimes. So that was also waving at Jocelyn was also for her too, to get her to calm down and remember we're having fun.
Yeah,
And I hope I had a little bit part of helping her with her PR double at 2:35.
yeah.
It was dope.
Well, and
I
like
I hope that like just like helped her nerves before she went
yeah,
out. It was
like
like Bailey's just
Jocelyn's,
being out there being a
yeah,
being a goof. Let's go put
Jocelyn's
on
one
a
of the
show.
best overhead pressers in Canada.
Mhm.
So
She
yeah,
got second in that event.
no, as she should.
Yeah,
Like I said, she's one of the best overhead pressers in Canada. So if
there was a
that
few.
little bit of a laugh got her out of her head and helped her a little bit, or even if it didn't do anything at
Or if
all,
it
like
didn't do anything at
yeah,
all, it helped me at least.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, super cool. Did zero, got 3 reps. And that's like my 1 rep max. My 1 rep max is also my 3 rep max.
yeah,
So
right,
yay! That means I have more in the tank somewhere. It might be 210 or 207.
yeah,
But I got more in the tank. Yeah. And then last event was surprisingly my favorite event. Duck walk to power stairs. I freaking hate duck walk.
I
It
love
is
duck walk.
dumb. I feel like a turd doing it with my hair whipping back and forth,
There
and
should
it
be
just
more
like
duck walk.
I freaking it's I not no.
Make duck
I
walk great again.
I do like power stairs though. I
No,
Power stairs is so much fun. It just sucks to train.
nope. Yeah, the power stairs sucks to train. I don't care.
I hate
Like
training it.
regardless, if you have a set of stairs, like it doesn't, you're getting it up and then sweep, but then you have to bring it all back down, reset it back up. So you either
It's
have to
like, oh,
lug it back
you
down or
want me to
roll
do
it off the
another
side.
set of that? I'm
Yeah.
not. Like, good luck.
No,
I'm
power
not.
stairs is such a pain in the ass to train.
I hate training it. And
Yeah. Or you're putting it up on something, then just jumping up and then bringing it back down to do it again.
no,
Like,
no. My last training session, I almost crashed out.
no, I know.
Because
But
all I was doing was putting it on one stair, and I had 2 stairs planned, but just trying because the lip always got stuck, and then it would splinter, and then the box would fall over, and I just like politely kicked the box over, and I was just like, no, I'm done.
yeah.
I did my duck walk. I loaded it to a stair. Cool. If that's
Yeah.
what I do in comp, that's what I do in comp. But fuck this. This is fucking annoying. It's so stressful to train.
You're not going to get verified with that language.
Oops. Darn. Because that's what I care about. But yeah, this ended up being my favorite event. I didn't train it. I trained it twice, so I knew I had to do whatever I can to rack up some points, and I had to pull something out of my caboose. Is that better for you?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did. My first duck walk, yeah, went straight to the first stair and just trotted on up, and that felt good. And then the second one, it felt like the pin was actually lower than it was supposed to be. They were supposed to be 18 inches high, and when I picked that one, it felt like I was in like a quarter squat. Like I felt very low, and I had to bend my knees a lot to walk with it.
I think you picked it up more in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know. It just didn't feel right, so I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna leapfrog this. Like, I'm turning this duck walk into a leapfrog.
But after you did that, more people did that.
Did they?
Yeah. So
I don't know, it just,
trendsetter.
that one just didn't feel right to me, so I was like, well, this is gonna probably take a little bit more energy out of me, but I might actually make it there faster if I just leapfrog it and then Hail Mary up the stairs. Um, it's funny because I sound so negative talking about this event, but it's all these little things that make it so frustrating, is that they weren't actual power stair implements. They were loading pins. So then,
Which
no,
is
no, 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 no. This is my YouTube.
it's a power stairs.
It's not. No, power stairs, duck walk. You know the difference. Duck walk and power stairs implements, they're completely flat on the bottom. The handle doesn't rotate, nothing like that. Where if it's a loading pin, the the fucking bottom thing that you put the plates on, it always gets stuck on the stair when I load it. And I know I can be more efficient with my loading. I get that. But when my height isn't an advantage and my long arms isn't an advantage, I know I need to get stronger. But
Just get taller.
I got stuck on every single stair going up because of that little pin, and I couldn't just push it on because it was stuck. So then I had to grab my arm just to get enough weight to be pulling up. Because if it wasn't on enough, that if I just stood on top of the stair to get it more on there, like, no, it was all leaning up
Yep.
against my knee. So I had to put my arm underneath it, and I
A
did
little
that.
zercher.
Yeah, just like a little bit. I didn't want to do like a full zercher deadlift, but just enough to get that lip over. But I am actually obsessed with watching this video because I know who was all in that front row there, and I love all of you guys, but Jackie went to town on the yelling, and that's all I could hear while I was up there. And like, I'm addicted to actually listen. I watching it is cool, but listening to it is what gets me. Is she goes absolutely psycho when she's yelling,
Yeah.
and that mixed with the announcer counting down from 10. I don't know how I got it up there in time, and the score sheet says 60 seconds, which that was definitely an athlete's tie. It was
Yep.
the athlete always wins the tie. That was a tie because I could not have been faster or slower getting it to 60 seconds, but that last one, I think I got it to the top of the stair at 3 seconds, but knew I had to push that lip up. And I literally used my whole body weight because I knew that was going to be the only way to get it up there in time. I used my whole body weight, and I just like flopped right over, like maximum effort.
It's the dramatic finish people want to see.
Yes, last event. I'm going to bring it.
Yeah, you got to lay it all out there.
And that was like the best way I could have finished a comp ever. Like, I was riding on such a high just finishing that, because 370 I think is pretty heavy for me, at least. I don't think I've done that. I can't remember what. I think North America's was 350, but that was an 18-inch step.
I think those are 20-inch steps.
20-inch steps. So
Anyway.
It was lighter, but the stair was much higher, and I think I only got, like, out of the two implements, the second implement, I couldn't get it to the stair.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get it quite high enough. So yeah, I was happy with 370. I don't think I've ever done that before. Same thing at Norway, we did power stairs, and I think our heaviest one was 3. I don't know, that was 8 years ago already. But yeah, no, that's been running through my head rent free. Is that event?
It's motivation going into the next one.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And just, pushing to that limit, using that full 60 seconds, and yeah, that was good.
That's what you got to do.
That was my Arnold experience, and since I got the 8 stairs, and then you're supposed to be accredited with like each rep equals each step, so 7 reps is 7 stairs, 6 reps is 6 stairs. Once that gets corrected, because that's how the open men were scored. So I don't know why the open women weren't scored like that, but that's how it is in the rules. So going off the rule book in that, and with the open men, it bumped me up to 7th. So I stayed in 7th. And yeah, I think that is just so dope. Yep. I didn't think I'd be able to do something like that.
At the end of the day, 7th or 8th, regardless, it's a huge win.
I'm happy with either.
Yeah.
7th is just
the wee little 82 making it to the finals in the open on her first try, so that's
yeah. So that extra 10 pounds body weight definitely makes a difference. Excuse me.
Mass moves mass.
And yeah, just working with Danny, actually training accessories and training overhead like 3 times a week seems to be my secret sauce.
Yeah.
Success.
Sweet spot.
Yeah. So yeah, so that is my Arnold, and I need to make a comment because Josh wasn't there with me, and I knew there was going to be a lot of people asking about him. I was like mentally prepared for that. Um, but it just like makes my heart so warm that like even though he wasn't there, you guys were messaging him, like
Yeah, definitely
pretending that he
appreciate
was
it.
there. Like they like all missed him so much, and like people that I don't quite recognize at first, or that we've never talked in person, or we just follow each other on Instagram. Like the fact that you guys were coming up to me and like asking how he's doing and like rooting for him, and I wish that he was there. Like it warmed my heart so much, and I'm glad that we can rely on people like you for support like that.
Yeah.
Um,
The
it
strongman community is fantastic.
yeah,
So we love you guys.
yeah,
Thank
we
you.
love you. Thank you so much. And yeah, that was definitely hard for me, like going there. Like I did feel a little bit guilty being there without him, but Blakely slept through the night the whole time. Like she was really good, and she just knows when mom and dad need a little bit of a
She
break
she
sometimes.
left the she left the car and ran. Vacation.
Yeah. Um, and then for those people who didn't know, like thankfully almost
poor
everybody knows.
poor Terry.
But Terry, yeah, I don't think that was on his bingo card to make Bailey cry. I'm okay talking about it if you're aware, because I don't have to explain to you what's happening. But like, if you come up
Yeah.
to me and you're,
Go. What's going on?
why isn't he here? He didn't want to come. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
so and so. Are you okay? Well, no, now I'm not. Like, don't ask me how I'm doing because you know the answer. You need a hug. Yeah, I could use a hug right now, I guess. Like Jackie and Mel are about to go lift
Yeah.
in like 5 minutes, but yeah, let's get
let's
this
lunch
water.
do it.
And then I have to lift in 3 hours too. So yeah, let's get it out of my system right now. I knew that was gonna happen. Like if Terry didn't make me cry, I probably would have cried after Power Stairs anyways, or I would have cried once I found out I made finals. I knew I was gonna cry eventually somewhere that weekend. I just didn't know when, and Terry beat me to it.
Yeah.
He made me cry instead of making myself cry. So thank you, Terry. Appreciate you. But then messaged you after, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what I love.
No, I got a ton of messages, so I
Yeah.
appreciate all of it.
And like I got somebody walked up to me. I still can't remember his name. I'm so sorry. I have what your face looks like, but you guys, all you Masters guys look the same. Like beard, belly, touch of gray hair. Like silver foxes, okay? Wow. So sorry. But yeah, came up to me and he was just like, "Excuse me, but do you happen to be Mrs. Walrus?" Like, why, in fact, yes, I am. It's like, or do you prefer Mrs. Cheeseburger? I was like, no, Mrs. Walrus is fine. To you, it's Mrs. Walrus. And then, yeah, chatted with him for a bit, but I think he hung out with, like, Mr. Meathead and stuff, and same thing, Mr. Meathead came and asked about you, too, and then ended up winning the show. Very cool.
Which is awesome.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Finally. Poor Elijah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I just needed to make a comment on that, because it was overwhelming in the best possible way. Like, anybody that I talked to, the next question was Josh.
Yeah.
Or it was the first question. And then I was pushed off to the side. It's fine. It's completely fine. But I'm just glad I was mentally prepared for that, because
you knew it was going to happen.
I knew it was going to happen, but also at the same time, like,
yeah.
Oh, she's in athlete mode. Like, maybe not. But it's part of our lives, and, like, everything that is happening with that, it's, like, best case scenario. So
it's on the up and up, so we'll keep you posted.
I am a lot better than people probably think or expect me to be, but like because it runs in his family, that since I've started dating him and since we've been together, it's gonna be 9 years.
Yep.
Okay, 9 years next month. Basically, for 9 years, I've been mentally prepared for something like this to happen, and it sucks to say that, but like when it does run, especially on both sides of our family, like you just know one day it's gonna happen. So at least I can.
The possibility is always there.
Yeah. But it just sucked that it was so like fresh with his brother. But I think that is why we got the diagnosis. Well, not the diagnosis, but why you found what was going on so fast is because it was unfortunately fresh in all of our minds, that we were kind of a little bit on the higher radar to like find something that maybe isn't quite natural about what's going on. But
so, well, and biggest thing, like, again, because it runs in my family and whatnot, and because it's, like she said, fresh in the minds and everything, but a lot of it too is I'm very much my own advocate. So if something feels off, like especially when I'm at the doctor, like
Yeah.
I don't just, oh no, it's this, and this. No, like
If something
advocate
feels,
for yourself,
yeah,
push for yourself. Like if
yeah.
something feels off, they're not gonna they're not gonna take you seriously unless you take yourself seriously.
Mhm.
So
In worst case scenario, like if it was nothing,
yeah,
cool. That's
but
great.
that's just it. Yeah.
Good.
So there were a lot of factors last year that kind of started making more sense after the diagnosis.
Mhm.
But you know, just be your own advocate. If something feels off, don't settle for the easy answer. Just
Yeah.
keep pushing.
Yep. And I can be an advocate for that too. Like obviously not on that level, but you've even noticed that like now that I'm taking care of my hormones, like I know they weren't very good pre-baby, and they tanked after baby, tanked. So,
What?
and I've just kind of put it off. I'm just like, oh, maybe this is just who I am. And then, talking to certain friends who work in that field, they're like,
No,
that
that's
may
not how
be
you are.
that may be like normal for you because you've always been like that, but that's not normal in general. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that.
No.
Oh, let's check it out. I'm like, oh. And then
Yeah.
yeah, getting into this prep, like I think a combo of that, like getting my
Yeah, just getting
hormones,
re-regulated and
back to
figuring
where
out
they're
trouble
supposed to
spots.
be, and
Yeah.
a little bit of like cancer rage that I might have, made for a perfect prep.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. But anywho,
Yeah.
glad I was able to get that off my chest.
Yeah.
I just like talking. Like
I see
that's
that.
why I make the YouTube, right? Is I just want to talk about how my experience was and what's up next and what's up next for you, and yeah, just
Nothing.
our lives together. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
On that note, I'm gonna go have a nap.
You go have a nap. I gotta pee really bad. But thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
If I saw you over the weekend, like so cool to see you guys again. And next one is gonna be Alberta's Strongest Woman. That is happening in Red Deer, Alberta, in like 4 weeks. I think we're about 4 weeks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. It's just for bragging rights, maybe a little bit of cash, and I might have heard that there might be a really cool trophy that I might have something to do with that. But yeah, bragging rights 100%, and yeah, just ready to throw down with my Berta girls now that I'm back, and yeah, quickly go on to like an off season, and then start prepping for North America's Strongest Woman as long as JF invites me.
Watch Amanda beat you at deadlifts.
That's fine. If anybody's gonna beat me, she's allowed to beat me, but nothing else. Okay.
Yeah, Jeff.
Love you.
North Americans.
JF, are you listening? Hint, hint.
Tag JF in the comments.
Yes. Tag JF in the comments if I deserve to be at North America's. Okay, cool. I gotta head to work in an hour, and yeah, we're gonna try to keep this rolling like once a month or so. Okay, cool. Thanks. I'm gonna figure out how to turn this off now, so don't mind me.